All right, let's talk about a common problem. You've built an amazing app, but now what? How do you actually get people to use it? Well, today we're going to tackle that head on. We're going to use ChatGPT to build a full marketing campaign right from scratch. Think of it as your new AI marketing partner. It is just so crowded out there. Having a great idea for an app isn't enough anymore. You've poured your heart and soul into building something incredible, but the real question is, how do you cut through the noise and find your audience? It's a huge challenge, for sure, especially when you're a small team or even a solo founder trying to make waves. So what if you had a secret weapon, an AI marketing assistant that could help you build a killer strategy from the ground up? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. And we're not just talking theory. We're going to use a real practical example, a digital product called the 30-Day Fitness Meal Planner, to show you exactly how to do it. Okay, first things first, every single winning campaign is built on a solid foundation. So before we get into the fun stuff like writing ads, we need to get super clear on what we're selling and what success actually looks like. Let's dive into that. So we're going to break this down into two simple steps. First, we're going to absolutely nail the definition of our product, what it is, who it's for, and why it's special. Then we'll use that foundation to set some really clear, measurable goals for the whole campaign. All right, so our very first move is to turn to ChatGPT and check out this prompt. We're not just vaguely asking it to describe the product. No, we're getting specific. We're asking for the problem it solves, the target audience, and its unique value. And why does that matter so much? Because those three things, they're the absolute cornerstone of all good marketing. Everything else builds on this. And boom, look at what it spits out. This right here is why this is so powerful. In just a few seconds, we have total clarity. We're not selling a meal planner. No, we are selling a solution to lack of time and nutrition confusion. We're selling a simple, time-saving system. Suddenly, our marketing has a real purpose. That is a total game changer. Okay, now that we know exactly what we're selling and why, it's time to figure out our goals. Again, we can lean on ChatGPT here. We're asking it to help us define some real, specific marketing objectives. This is how we go from just kind of hoping for success to having a real, concrete plan. And look at this. This is perfect. It gives us a primary goal that's super specific and measurable, 1,000 downloads in 30 days. We can actually track that. And then it gives us secondary goals that totally support the main mission, like growing our email list. Now we have a real target on the wall. All right, so we know what we're selling and we know what we're aiming for. The next big piece of the puzzle is, well, who are we actually talking to? And how do we say the right thing to get their attention? To figure that out, we're going to use a super useful marketing tool called a user persona. Basically, it's a fictional character representing our ideal customer. Now, normally this could take a while, but with ChatGPT, we can just ask it to create one for us. This persona is going to be our guide for pretty much every creative decision we make from here on out. So let's meet Sarah. She's 32, she works a demanding corporate job, and look at her pain points: lack of time and nutrition confusion. Does that sound familiar? It should. It's pulled right from the product definition we created earlier. And this is so important, because you see, marketing to Sarah is way, way more powerful than marketing to a vague group like busy people. Now we can write everything like we're having a one-on-one conversation with her. So now that we have this really clear picture of Sarah in our minds, we can go back to ChatGPT and get it to write our actual messaging. And again, we're not just asking for random taglines. We're asking for words that will really connect with her and solve her specific problems. And look at these results. They're great. Eat healthier without thinking harder. That speaks directly to her feeling overwhelmed. A plug-and-play nutrition system that nails the convenience she's looking for. You see, this is what happens when your messaging comes from a place of really understanding your audience. Okay, we've got our strategy locked down and our messaging is sharp. Now it's time for the really fun part, actually creating the content and the ads that will bring this whole campaign to life. So in this next section, we're going to use ChatGPT as our creative brainstorming partner. We'll have it cook up some content ideas, generate different ad copy we can test, and even help us plan out our social media to keep our audience hooked. The best content marketing isn't about selling. It's about helping. It's about giving value away for free. So we're asking ChatGPT for ideas that will genuinely help Sarah, our persona, even before she thinks about buying. And notice we're asking for blog, video, and social ideas, so we can meet her where she's at. And these ideas are spot on, aren't they? They hit Sarah's pain points directly. 5 meal prep mistakes? She's definitely going to click on that. A what I eat in a week video? That's super practical and shows the product in action. Remember, we're not just selling a product, we're solving a problem. Now here's a little pro tip when it comes to running ads. You never ever want to rely on just one version of your ad copy. So we had ChatGPT whip up 2 different headlines. Headline A focuses on her main problem, no time. Headline B is super direct, a clear call to action. The plan? We can run both and let the numbers tell us which one Sarah responds to. And of course, social media. Consistency is everything. ChatGPT can help us map out a simple posting schedule. And this isn't just about posting random stuff. It's a real strategy. We're telling a story, starting with our why, then engaging our audience with a poll, and finally building trust with a real testimonial. It's smart. Okay, so the campaign is live, but we are not done, not even close. Now comes arguably the most important part, looking at the data to see what's working, what's not, and how we can make things better. There's an old saying, you can't improve what you don't measure. But with so much data out there, which numbers should you actually be paying attention to? Well, we can ask ChatGPT to point us to the right key performance indicators, or KPIs, for our specific campaign. And here are the big ones. Conversion rate. Are people who visit our page actually buying? Cost per acquisition. How much are we spending for each new customer? Email opt-in rate. Are we growing our community? Tracking these specific numbers is what lets us make smart adjustments instead of just guessing. So, there you have it. From the very first idea all the way to analyzing the results, ChatGPT can be an incredible partner. It helps you build a smarter campaign, get it done faster, and really focus your energy on what's going to move the needle for your app. And all of this leaves us with a really interesting question to chew on, right? As these AI tools get more and more powerful, are they just assistants, or are they on their way to becoming the new creative directors? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.